Sigma Supermom. Have you ever wondered what happens when that mysterious and independent Sigma woman suddenly becomes a mom? It's not about changing diapers or midnight feedings. I'm talking about the long game, how these lone wolves shape young minds from toddler years to adulthood. These are the ladies who've always done things their own way, and now they're in charge of molding tiny humans. So do they turn into those cool moms with all the answers? Or are they more like the distant aunties who show up once a year with expensive gifts? Will they continue to stay true to their Sigma nature? Or will motherhood soften their edges? As with everything Sigma-related, it's not a simple answer. So let's see what happens when a Sigma woman becomes a mom. Independence, not helicoptering. So, you've got a kid who's got a sweet tooth and a big dream. They want to open a cupcake stall. You know, the kind with those adorable little sprinkles and maybe even some fancy frosting designs. Most moms might jump right in, taking over the baking, setting up the stall, and even handling the sales. But not the Sigma Supermom. She's all about letting her kids spread their wings. She'll ask them, "What kind of cupcakes do you want to bake? What flavors are you thinking? How are you going to price them?" She'll maybe even suggest a fun name for the stall, like Cupcake Craze or Sweet Treats. She'll be there with ideas and encouragement, but she won't take over. She lets them run the show because she knows that's how they learn best. Think of it like a lifeguard. They're always watching, ready to jump in if things get really rough. But they let the kids swim, even if they get splashed a little or take a tumble, because those tumbles teach them how to swim better. It's about letting them figure things out for themselves, learning from their mistakes, and knowing that they can handle challenges on their own. It's not about coddling. It's about building resilience. It's about knowing that even if they stumble, they can get back up and try again. And most importantly, it's about knowing that they have a safe haven to come back to, a place where they're loved and supported no matter what. This mom's message is simple. Go for it. Take risks. I'm here for you, but I want you to learn how to fly on your own. Question everything, even mom. Imagine dinner time. You're all gathered around the table, plates piled high with spaghetti and meatballs. But instead of just munching in silence, the conversation is buzzing with lively debate. "Why do we have to go to bed so early?" one of the kids asks, eyebrows furrowed. Most moms might say, "Because I said so." But not this mom. She'll explain, "Well, getting enough sleep helps your brain grow and makes you better at school. Plus, it gives your body time to rest and recharge." If she doesn't have a good answer, she'll admit it. "You know what? I'm not sure about that one. Maybe we can research it together later." This mom wants her kids to think for themselves, to question everything, even her. It's about encouraging a curious mind, a mind that isn't afraid to ask why, even if it means challenging her own authority. Dinner time isn't just about eating. It's about training those critical thinking muscles. It's about fostering a love for learning and a willingness to explore different perspectives. Sure, it might get a little heated sometimes. There might be disagreements and lively arguments, but she sees it as a valuable learning experience, preparing them for a world where thinking for yourself is not just encouraged, it's essential. She knows that "because I said so" doesn't cut it in today's world. She wants her kids to be informed, to be able to defend their own opinions, and to understand the world around them. And she knows that starts with asking the right questions, even if those questions make her think twice. Building bonds. Through shared passions. She connects with her kids through shared hobbies, not forced family time. A lot of parents try to make family bonding happen with awkward game nights or mandatory Sunday dinners, but that usually ends up with eye-rolling teens and tense obligatory hangouts. The Sigma mom does it differently. She gets that real bonding happens naturally through common interests. Instead of scheduling family time, she includes her kids in what she's already doing. If she's into woodworking, you might find her in the garage with her daughter, teaching her how to sand and stain wood. If her son loves video games, She might pick up a controller and genuinely try to learn the game. She's not pretending. She's really interested in what her kids like. This leads to easy, spontaneous conversations, from school stuff to deeper topics, without the pressure of a formal chat. She also lets her kids teach her things. She's cool with her tech-savvy teen explaining the latest app or social media trend. This not only boosts their confidence, but also shows that learning goes both ways. These shared moments turn into great memories, inside jokes, and a unique family vibe. The Sigma mom is creating strong, lasting relationships with her kids that go way beyond traditional family gatherings, letting kids learn through playgrounds. At the playground, she lets her kids handle their own battles. Unlike most moms who jump in at the first sign of trouble, rushing to resolve arguments, calm hurt feelings, or fix problems, the Sigma mom does things differently. She's definitely not winning any helicopter parent awards. When her kids run into issues at the playground, she hangs back and watches from a distance. She's ready to step in if things get really out of hand, but she's not about to referee every little squabble. This might seem hands-off to some, but she's got her reasons. She knows these playground conflicts are like mini life lessons. By letting her kids work through their own problems, she's teaching them valuable skills they'll need later in life. The Sigma mom gets that the playground is a training ground for the real world. It's where kids learn to stand up for themselves, negotiate, and resolve conflicts. These are skills that can't be taught through lectures. They need real-life practice. When other parents rush in to smooth things over, the Sigma mom watches and waits. She knows that by intervening too soon, her kids won't get the chance to figure things out on their own. It's not about being neglectful. It's about giving them the room to grow and learn. She's there if her kids really need her, but she's giving them the space to work it out themselves. This approach can be tough sometimes, watching them struggle and knowing she could step in and fix it. But she understands that these little struggles are important. They help her kids build confidence and resilience. By standing back, she's showing them that she trusts them to handle things, which in turn teaches them to trust themselves. So while other parents might be hovering and micromanaging every interaction, the Sigma mom is taking a step back, letting her kids navigate their own social challenges. She knows that in the long run, this will prepare them better for the real world. They'll know how to stand up for themselves, work through disagreements, and solve problems on their own. It's all part of her bigger plan to raise strong, independent kids who are ready to take on life's challenges. Leading by example. She leads by example, not authority. Traditional moms often rely on their authority to get things done. They bark orders, set strict rules, and expect their kids to fall in line. But this approach can breed resentment and rebellion in kids who see right through the hypocrisy. The Sigma mom is not about throwing her weight around or pulling rank. She's all about walking the walk, not just talking the talk. Kids are like little sponges, soaking up everything they see, so she leads by example, showing rather than telling. If she wants her kids to read more, then her nose is always in a book. If she wants to teach the value of hard work, she's the first one up and the last one to bed, grinding away at her goals. If she hopes to raise kind and compassionate humans, she'll help a stranger or volunteer at the local shelter. The Sigma mom doesn't lecture her kids about healthy habits. She hits the gym regularly and eats her veggies without complaint. When it comes to respect and manners, she treats everyone, from the CEO to the janitor, with equal kindness. This approach isn't always easy. Sometimes it'd be simpler to just lay down the law. But her actions speak louder than words, especially to kids who are experts at spotting inconsistencies. The beauty of this method is that kids naturally want to emulate their parents. By being the person she wants her kids to become, she sets them up for success without resorting to heavy-handed tactics. It's not about being perfect. The Sigma mom is human after all. But when she messes up, she owns it, apologizes, and shows her kids how to make things right. That's the kind of real-world lesson you can't get from a lecture. So while other parents might be relying on authority and strict rules, the Sigma mom is busy leading by example, knowing that her actions today will shape her kids' futures in the best way possible. Nurturing emotional intelligence. She teaches her kids to read people, not just books. Book smarts are just one piece of the puzzle. While other parents are laser-focused on grades and test scores, the Sigma mom is playing a different game. She's teaching her kids the art of reading people, a skill that's worth its weight in gold in this complex world. She's constantly pointing out subtle cues in body language, tone of voice, and facial expressions. During family outings, she might quietly ask her kids what they think about the cashier's mood, or why that couple at the next table seems to be arguing. She encourages her children to put themselves in others' shoes. "Why do you think your friend reacted that way?" she might ask after a playground spat. She's not looking for a right answer, but pushing them to consider different perspectives. The Sigma mom shows her kids how to read a room, adapt their communication style, and pick up on unspoken social cues. She might explain why she chose a certain approach in a work situation, or how she diffused a tense moment with a neighbor. This focus on emotional intelligence doesn't mean she neglects traditional education. She's just adding another layer to her children's learning. In a world increasingly dominated by technology, the ability to connect with and understand people is more valuable than ever. By teaching her kids to read people, the Sigma mom is equipping them with a superpower. She's preparing them for a world where EQ is just as important as IQ, if not more so. So while other parents might be drilling math problems or stressing over homework, the Sigma mom is having deeper conversations about human behavior. She knows that being able to navigate social situations, understand others' feelings, and react appropriately is crucial. Her kids will grow up with a unique set of skills that will help them in all areas of life, from friendships to career success. Nurturing young adults. She treats her kids like young adults in training, not babies. Ever wonder why some kids seem more mature and capable than others? It might have something to do with how their parents treat them. The Sigma mom doesn't coddle her kids or talk down to them. She sees them as future adults, so she communicates with respect, uses sophisticated language, and explains complex ideas instead of dumbing things down. In family decision-making, she involves her kids in the discussions. Planning a vacation? She asks for their input and explains the logistics. Thinking about home improvements? She talks about the budget and timeline, getting them involved like mini project managers. Nothing is off limits for her. She dives into current events, explains financial principles, and talks about relationship dynamics in a way that makes sense for their age. In family decision-making, she involves her kids in the discussions. Planning a vacation? She asks for their input and explains the logistics. Thinking about home improvements? She talks about the budget and timeline, getting them involved like mini project managers. Nothing is off limits for her. She dives into current events, explains financial principles, and talks about relationship dynamics in a way that makes sense for their age.